Alright, I'm gonna answer one of the most frequently asked questions, which is which area to live in Abu Dhabi. Should you consider Reem, Saadiyat, Corniche or Yas? There is no right or wrong answer. Nevertheless, I will address this question and tell you which areas we had looked at and how we finally decided. Starting with a bit of context, we moved here from a small European city, so we're used to a whole different lifestyle. This also results in our specific priorities when it comes to choosing the ideal place to live. Our top priorities were location. Although we own a car, and yes, you need a car, at least if you want to make your life easier here in Abu Dhabi, everything that exceeds 15 minutes of drive is considered far away for us. So we wanted to pick an area that is close to shopping, restaurants and cafes, and some sort of a park or an area where you can go for a walk. This was met. Our second priority, of course, is the appearance and the quality of the apartment. For me personally, it's very important that the apartment is bright. Another thing that was important to us was a gym in the building that has high quality equipment and a nice pool area. And lastly, the rent. We aimed for less than 85k per year for a one-bedroom apartment. Now these are the areas that we had looked at, either on Bayut, on the internet, or we actually went to an apartment viewing. From all these options, we reduced it to 3 that still made sense to us according to our priorities. First off, Al Munera / Al Zaina, which are next to each other, is located between Khalifa City and Yas, so there are a lot of supermarkets and malls and restaurants and cafes nearby. The rent compared to Yas, for example, is much lower. Another huge plus is the beautiful walkway along the canals, which is perfect for an evening walk, for cycling or for dogs. And it's close to the airport. Now to the cons. The buildings that we checked out didn't seem so new. The standard of all the features seemed a bit outdated. The flats that we looked at also didn't have much direct sunlight and the view wasn't as open and nice. To me, especially Al Munera had a bit of an old feel to it. Now on to Yas Island, which is where we actually lived last year. A huge plus is that there are a lot of new buildings, so the finishes are very modern and high quality. There's Yas Bay with a beautiful walkway with restaurants, bars and cafes. There are many green areas, it's very close to the airport, and there's a lot happening on Yas. A huge plus for me was that we used to have private beach access, and this is something that you can rarely find. Now to the cons. Because of the new buildings, it's rather expensive and the rent is much higher compared to other areas. And a huge downside for me at least was that it's super far away from downtown, it's super far away from Corniche, and you don't really have the big city vibe. Lastly, Al Reem Island, that's where we actually live right now. There are a lot of buildings, a lot of new apartments. There are of course some old ones too. It's close to Galleria Mall and Reem Mall. There's Reem Central Park, because you can go there for evening walks. There are restaurants and cafes. You can enjoy the beautiful sunset from there. It's cheaper than Yas. I really like the location of Reem because in a way it's like in between downtown, Saadiyat and Yas. And it's close to many workout places that I like to go to. The cons are that it's far away from the airport. And lastly, compared to the apartment that we used to have on Yas, the apartment is smaller, the gym is smaller, also the pool area, and there's no nearby beach. Well, the closest would be the one on Saadiyat. No matter where you decide to live in Abu Dhabi, you will have to make some sacrifices somewhere. The most important thing is that you are aware of your top priorities. Keep in mind that everything I said is just based on my own opinions and my experiences. Also, we haven't looked at all the apartment buildings in the areas that I mentioned, so someone else could have a totally different opinion or a different experience. If you have more questions or if you would like to add something to what I said or you have a different opinion, please comment.